A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. Blessing of the children. Children were brought to Jesus that he might lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples rebuked them, but Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, and do not prevent them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." After he placed his hands on them, he went away. The Gospel of the Lord. Dear brothers and sisters, when you are learning language, there is one very important issue on which you should have an opinion. Do you think that grammar is prescriptive or descriptive? This is very hard to understand, but let me make it simple. In a simple words, I can say, do you think that learning a language is to know the grammar to dictate the way a language should be used, or to know the grammar that used in the real life? Your answer to this question will strongly influence the way that you learn a language. You who has a prescriptive view of grammar will believe that grammar books will provide you with the rules of the language, and those are to be obeyed. But you who agree with the descriptive approach of grammar may be less worried with learning rules. You will try to know about the language used by native speakers and thinking about it. Let me connect our reading today with what I have talked about grammar. I want to connect it with this because I see something important there that maybe we can make an analogy of that thing. In learning any languages, actually, we are trying to have a sense of the languages. The Gospel today tells us about how can we have a good sense in relationship with Jesus. There are two groups, his disciples and the children. Both groups are trying to learn a new language that Jesus has. That language is the language of love. Because of many rules that they know from their traditions, the disciples warned the children to act properly to Jesus. I can say that they are in the type of prescriptive learners of the language who want something to be obeyed. While the children are like the descriptive learners because they learn the love of Jesus based on their honesty in their real life as a child. They don't think about rules to obey. They just think about how they can get along with a good conversation with Jesus. their friends. I don't say that the disciples are wrong or the children are wrong. Maybe the disciples are right and also the children are right. I just think that it is just differences of perspective that they have. The differences of things that they pick up in learning to be with and to love Jesus. The disciples think that we must act properly in front of the one that we honor him as God. But the children, with their own understanding, they try to learn something from Jesus, maybe as their friend. So Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, and do not prevent them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Dear friends, your way to know Jesus is also different with mine. But let us believe that Jesus doesn't want us to be right all the time or to be perfect. He wants us to be honest about our life and use our honesty like the children to express our freedom to love Him with all our heart and mind. That is the real language of love that we might develop in our life in order to bear witness for others about the love that we learn from Jesus Christ, our Lord.